Welcome to Secrets from the Saddle podcast. I'm Sylvie, your host, fellow cyclist, bike club founder, cycling coach, bike race junkie, just truly super passionate about cycling. My journey with cycling started 20 years ago when I opened a spin studio, started a women's race team, and founded a women's only cycling club called Cycle Fit Chicks. I'm super thrilled to reveal all aspects that make the world of cycling operate. I'm so excited to be able to bring you interesting people from around the world, pro cyclists, recreational cyclists, coaches, event organizers, bike shop owners, everything and everyone you need to know or ever wondered about when it comes to cycling. I know you'll enjoy this episode. All right, what's up, everyone? Happy January, happy 2023. We all know that it's a new year, but I'm sure that you are ready for this year. So welcome to Secrets from the Saddle, All Things Cycling podcast with your host, Sylvie Dow. I am really excited about sharing this with you. But I want to first say that this episode is sponsored by Dow Training Systems / Cycle Fitness Coaching. The reason why it's sponsored by Dow Training Systems is that there is an opportunity to jump into a training program for the next 4 months that is going to help you get on track and focused with consistent workouts on both Zoom with specific cycling skills training, Swift group riding and intervals, and we've added strength training to that, and there's an option to do yoga. So with this program, my clients have already been seeing some amazing results. A lot of us are focusing on 100K rides and working our way up to that April spring riding. And let's just say that encouraging my clients to join me at Barrie-Roubaix. Hey, Matt Acker, thank you so much for being a guest on my podcast last year. Hit me up for that event and I will never look back. It will be my first event every spring heading out to Hastings, Michigan. So if you're someone who, you've been hanging about, now you're definitely into wanting to figure out how to train properly, not overtraining, training smarter, not harder. This is definitely the program you're going to want to check out. It's pretty basic, but what it does is taking the guesswork out of what you need to do. We all know that strength training is part of it, skills development, endurance-based building, and intervals. It's a 20-80 rule, 20% intensity, 80% endurance-based building. We've scheduled in 100K rides, and it's 4 to 6 hours a week of cycling. Now, this is for the average person. If you're going over and above, then this program isn't for you, but this is for everybody else who's getting intentional about your training. And I have a code for you. So first off, go to cyclingskillspro.com. That's cyclingskillspro.com. And you'll see all the details of the program. And the code you want to use to get 20% off your first month, and that's for January only, is the code GRAVEL. So use the code GRAVEL, you get 20% off your first month, and then it's a monthly membership for the next 4 months, and it finishes at the end of April. So that's GRAVEL. Let's do it. Put it out there and just let somebody do all the thinking for you, and you just make sure that you put everything in your schedule and you attend. Okay, now let's get into the episode. I want to share with you. So since it's January, I know if you're like me, then you probably already started getting into your training. I've been training for the last 3 months. I'm feeling good. Took a great 2 weeks off at Christmas. And you know what? It's just the best thing you could do for your body, because did my first training session with my clients last night, and I felt really good. I mean, that's not to say that I didn't cycle. I just didn't do anything that was intense. I did, we had a little club client challenge in my coaching group, which I just telling you about. It was the Holiday 100, and it was just like over 7 days to put in 100 kilometers over 7 days. So it was like a no stress. I know the Rafa 500 was there, and that's stressful. Okay. When you're trying to relax and recover, that's probably not one of the things that you want to be doing, but a lot of people did, and kudos to them. It just wasn't me. So I felt amazing, and that's how you want to feel going into the new season, with excitement, and your body's just ready to roll. So something that I did last fall, and maybe a lot of you are familiar with Unbound. Now, there's so much talk in the gravel world about Unbound, so I was like, oh my gosh, this is super cool. I am going to add it to my race schedule as per one of my bucket list races that I want to do. Okay. Also, Leadville's in there, and Rebecca Rush's Private Idaho. That's another one, but these are all very far away. So, and also this year, first of all, like, I've set my goals. I've also set my intentions. And last year I put so much on my schedule. I got sick. I had got COVID. I got sick. I couldn't do some of them. I had to cut some races short. So this year, learning by experience, I have just 2 to 3 events out there. We have a family reunion that's happening, and also we're saving money to go away to Australia for 6 weeks next Christmas, so about this time next year. And those things are priority, right? It's not all about me and racing. However, when I can fit it in, my first event will be Barrie Roubaix. Woo woo. I just fell in love with Matt Acker and the whole event last year when I attended out in Michigan. And so I'm encouraging the ladies to sign up, because they're always looking for more women to attend these events. They're not, you can look at them as race events. Some people do, or you can just look at them as really fun festival gravel events. So I'm looking forward to that road trip in April. But in, I think it was December, maybe it was late November. Remember I said that Unbound was on my list. So when I got I probably saw it on Facebook, when I saw the event go up for, I know that there's a lottery. So first off, I know there's a lottery, and that's the only way you can get in. You can't register. So I got super excited when I saw it on Facebook. I'm like, oh my God, this is my time to register and get my name in there. Little did I know, and I did not spend much attention reading the details, but so I registered, and then I posted that I registered, and then one of my friends reached out. She goes, you know that this is the XL 350-mile event that you've registered for? And I was just like, what? So I was just like, oh, I thought it kind of odd that it didn't ask me what distance I wanted. So yeah, so I ended up registering for Unbound XL 350 kilometers. So that's like 350 miles. That's about 500 kilometers. And I was like, oh my God, I should probably reach out to them and say that I mistakenly registered for the wrong event. But then I'm like, and then I just let it sit, and I interviewed, and this is the interview that's coming out on Monday, Damien Bosley, and he is up near Kansas, and he has a bunch of events that he runs. And we were talking on the interview, and he's done Unbound XL. And so he gave me a couple tips about it. And let me just give you a little bit of background on my racing background. So before I got into road cycling racing, I used to be an adventure racer. So this is back in 2000 to 2006. So I am used to racing anything from 4 hours. I know you're like 4 hours, but 4 hours, 6 hours, 36 hours, 4 days, 6 days, 10-day adventure races. So, and I've been on my bike for probably 2 days at some point in one event, at least 48 hours. Um, but I've raced many kilometers, like 600 to 700 kilometers in some of these events. And so my mindset is pretty good. My ability to race solo is really good. I'm actually a really good bike mechanic. So if anything were to come awry, I could handle my bicycle. And so the more I thought about it, it's like, because, I have been looking at endurance cycling, like more backpacking and bike packing, not events per se. Maybe this was like a couple years a little early. But I was like, you know what? I can do this. I have 6 months to prepare. And the funny thing is, guys, I just went out and bought some new lights. So I'm like, the first thing I need are really good bike lights. And that's something I've always, so imagine racing in like 2001, 2002. We did not have these LED lights like they are now. Like I had like little Tika light. We had to have these big power lights with big battery packs. Like that's how it went back then, like 24 hours of adrenaline, things like that. Um, so so that was the first thing I purchased. Boxing Day, I went and got myself a really good headlamp. And I do have a really good bike light. So I'm not unfamiliar with the kind of intensity and distance and mindset and fueling needed for something like this. So I feel that that's a really good background, and I'm super excited. But the thing is that I'm going to start documenting and talking more about it, like on the podcast. And I encourage you to go to my personal YouTube channel, and that's where I'm going to be putting, not the podcast YouTube channel, but my personal podcast channel. And I'm going to start probably this week. Just documenting things that I have, my current knowledge. And now I'm starting to, look into training aspects as to how to properly get myself ready for such a long distance. I know it's a long, slow that make it. I'm not going out there. I have no expectations except that I definitely want to finish in the proper time. I don't want to be cut off. That's the worst. So yeah. So that's the crazy thing that I did. Have you guys done any crazy stuff? I know, like, there's probably plenty of you who've done those crazy triathlon. I've never been on a bike, or I don't know how to swim or run, and signed up for an Ironman. Now that's, I'm sorry to say, a little bit out there. I don't prescribe to that at all. I mean, we got many years to work up to it. And the thing is that I just registered for Barrie-Roubaix, the 100-mile. And so a friend of mine's like, yeah, you should probably do that in preparation. Now, I'm more afraid of that event than doing the distance later on in June, to be honest. But anyways, I believe that that's probably a good step for me to do. And honestly, I'm just not doing anything after Unbound because I'm probably going to need some serious time to recover. Based on my experience so far with my body changing as I get into my 50s. However, if you're listening to this and you're anywhere between Kansas and Montreal, I am going to be driving there. Yeah, I know. I'm leaving on Monday before I'm taking like a couple days. I know I'm going to do some stops along the way to see friends that I've made in the cycling world along the route. But if you're looking for a drive, hit me up. I'll I'll be driving that way. Also, I will be looking for someone as a crew member. So I was just reading through the some of the details, and they recommend that people who are participating in Unbound XL that they have a crew member that can go rescue me if I need to bail. And I don't have that yet. My girlfriend was thinking about it, but she has to work. And the thing is about this event, it's going to be a 2-week trip for me. So literally, I am leaving Monday from Montreal or Ottawa, and I'm taking my time to arrive probably Wednesday. Thursday, everything starts, Friday, Saturday morning. And then I've got the next week, then I'm going to take my time driving to Toronto, where I'm doing the Ride to Conquer Cancer event the following weekend. So, and then I'm back home. So I love it. Road trip. I'm like, my husband's like, you should fly. I'm like, no way. No way am I going to get stuck without a car, having to go everywhere. No way. I love road trips when it goes to cycling events. I don't know about you. I know plenty of people like my friend Pam Harper, who and her husband have a van and they go traveling in their van to events. And it just seemed like more people are doing stuff like that. So um that's kind of what my year is looking like so far. Focusing more on setting up my cycling clinics this year early. So my bike maintenance clinics, my advanced bike maintenance clinics, all here locally. My learn to group ride clinics, which are phenomenal. If I do say so myself, I've been doing them for 15 years. And it just helps women gain more confidence to ride together. But yeah, I don't know what I've done. I feel kind of good about it. And but have you ever done anything crazy like that? I'd like to know these stories about attending these long, epic gravel events. I'd love to know, hear from you. So go to the YouTube channel and place your comments there in your stories, or you can do it on our Instagram page. But I'd like to hear from you, and I'd love to hear if you have advice for me about how to survive, maybe tips about food. I love to hear tips about food. I have a bunch of things that I already do. The like snacks and bars and food pouches, things like that that I already currently use when I race or I ride. But I would love to hear what you guys do, because for me, hitting up a gas station and eating the crap that's in there, if I can avoid that, I will. I will bring more food. I don't care how heavy my bike is, to avoid upset stomach and the like. Maybe I will buy probably a root beer, not a root beer, a Mountain Dew. That's what I'll do. I'll drink Mountain Dews, dilated or watered down Mountain Dews, because those things are truly full of caffeine, not in Canada. But so please share with me any advice you have for me to survive Unbound XL. Thanks a lot, guys, and I look forward to hearing your advice. And also thanks a lot to our sponsor, who has sponsored this event. So it's Dow Training Systems, Cycle Fitness Coaching. The next 4 months, get a discount on the first month at 20% off with the code word gravel. Train with purpose. Join this group. It's amazing. People are getting tons of great performance improvements already. Get yourself ready properly for the spring. Go to www.cyclingskillspro.com and put in the code gravel to get your first month at 20% off. Thank you, everybody. See you later. The next episode. Don't forget to watch the next episode with Damien. Take care. Bye. Thank you so much for spending this time with me on the Secrets from the Saddle podcast, learning more about sighting people, places, and things that make cycling such an exciting sport. I am so glad you stopped by today. Please leave me a review if you feel so moved to do so. I would love to hear your feedback. And if you could take 1 second to share this episode with someone you think would enjoy it, I would be forever grateful. Also, if you could please leave me a review if you feel so moved by going to iTunes and leaving me an honest thought and an honest comment, telling me what you think, and most importantly, tell me what you'd like to hear more of. It would really help me to bring more great, inspiring cycling stories to you. Until then, have an amazing day. Make sure you ride your bike. And don't forget to visit my YouTube channel if you'd like to see the full version of this podcast live.